Right here we have your propane tank. There's one on each side. You have your regulator. It's in here right there where my hand's at. If you can see in there, there's a green dot. The green dot represents the tank you're going to start on. You can point it to either side by simply turning the knob. In the middle, the orange dot, the indicator there, will tell you whether you have propane flowing or not. If the orange dot is like it is now, it means everything's either off or empty. If it's green like the dot, it means you got gas flowing through. This is called an auto changeover regulator. So what that means is you need to turn both your propane tanks on. When the one tank that it's pointing to runs out, the dot will go from green back to orange like it is currently. What you'll do then is flip it to the other side. The dot should turn back to green, allowing you to take the empty tank off and getting it refilled without having any gas pass through the regulator. That process can be repeated any amount of time, and on either side, whatever one you start with is no problem. Up front, storage compartment. Your battery is underneath this side. It is a Marine deep cycle 12-volt battery. We get our batteries from Advanced Auto, so if you have any issues with those, any advanced near you can take care of that. Over here is a battery disconnect. When you're storing the camper and not using it, you want to make sure you turn the battery disconnect to off. That kills all power going to the camper. That way your battery life will be saved. Right here is your landing gear control. RET retract takes the camper down. EXT extend takes the camper up. Both of these are docking lights that are on the front cap. We'll show you what these look like out here. This is your other propane tank. It has a single stage regulator. Nothing you have to do with that one, just use the indicator on the other side to choose which tank you start with. Both of them come off the same way with a little wing nut and a little strap around the bottle. But that's just a single stage regulator, nothing you have to worry about with that. In here is your main water hookups. Fresh water connections for your portable water. City water connections when you have the garden hose hooked up. We do recommend that you use a pressure regulator at all times. That way the water is consistently 45 psi. Anything over that, you can cause a leak at the fittings. You can run your hoses through here, so that way the door doesn't have to be open constantly. This black tank flush is for your front black tank. Simply take your garden hose from your city water connection, insert it to the black tank flush, making sure that the valve is open on the sewer drain itself. When you turn the water on, it sprays inside the black tank, rinsing it out, flushing it through the sewer outlet. The antifreeze hookup is part of the bypasses right here. What you can do is, when these are in winterize or bypass mode, this now becomes a suction port. So if you hook up a garden hose to here and insert it into a bucket of antifreeze and run the water pump, you'll then be sucking the antifreeze through this port through the system without getting into the water heater itself. You have outlets up here, cable and satellite just like they're labeled, and an outside shower with hot and cold just like your inside shower. For normal use, for the water heater bypass and the water system bypass, just put it in normal. This way when you do hook up water or run water through the city water water pump or the freshwater water pump, everything is working like it's supposed to be. Your water heater. The basic things on the outside: pressure release valve. You have an anode rod. That's also your drain plug, and then you have an on-off switch down here that's taped over. This is for your electric side of the water heater. When you want to use this on electric, you want to make sure that you get everything full. You can pull the pressure release valve by popping it up to see if you get any water out. If you do, you know it's safe to turn the switch to on. Then you're running on an electric. If you'd rather run on a propane, there is a switch inside that we'll go over once we go through everything in there to show you how to turn it on propane. Next, this is your furnace. You just want to keep things clear of this. Obviously, when you're running the furnace, one part will be blowing out hot air, one part's pulling in the cold air. So if you got anything set up right here, just make sure they're clear if you're running the furnace. Down below, we've got some drain valves. They're labeled up here, gray tank 1 and wastewater holding. Gray tank 1's going to be your bathroom, sink, and shower. Wastewater will be your toilet for the front bathroom. The valves are here. The drain port's right here. There's one more back here. This is going to be your galley tank. It's labeled out here. They call it Gray Tank 2. This is for your kitchen sink only. We have a Gray Tank 3 back here, which is underneath. There's also a black tank as well for the back bathroom underneath here as well, which would be the far side. This is your power cord. A 50 amp power cord comes with the camper. We do recommend the adapters if you're at a 30 amp place, but it is the 4-prong 50 amp service. Crank down stabilizer jacks, one on each side. The rods will be inside for them. Fold down bike rack. Fold down ladder. The roof is full walkable roof for maintenance only. You want to make sure that you reseal all the seals up there once a year. Other than that, not used for storage or anything like that. Other stabilizer jack. Outside kitchen, pretty straightforward. You've got water, refrigerator, microwave. Everything out here is 110. It is not like your inside your main refrigerator. This one only works on electric. LP quick disconnect is right underneath here. If you have like a barbecue grill, you can hook it into that. This right here is your vent for your refrigerator. This little hose poking out allows condensation to drain out of the refrigerator through the little holes underneath. So you want to make sure that thing's poked out. Mainly behind here is just all the mechanical components. You want to pop this off every so often to make sure that it's clean of any dust, cobwebs, debris. Outside speakers, a vent for the cooktop, some exterior outlets. And the other side of the storage, which has antenna hookup with a 12-volt receptacle and a 110. We're going to run out the awning right now. It's controlled in here. Notice the flap is hanging down at a 90-degree angle. This is where you want to keep it. That way, if you have any water that gets on there, it will actually automatically pitch. The slight bend in the arms on the side here is a good indicator. If you have them overextended where it's straight, it won't pitch like it's supposed to. If I have the awning like so, and I get water on there, it's not going to tilt off like it needs to. So you want to make sure that the flap here is hanging out at a 90-degree angle. All your main controls are right here. We just ran the awning. Use a similar part to the in and out for the slide. So down is out, up is in. This slide room right here runs the main slide. So we'll run that in and out with this switch. When you hear the clicking noise, I'll let you know it's all the way out. It'll be the same thing when it's all the way in. This is your water pump, so when you're carrying water with you, you simply turn the pump on. It's an on-demand pump, so it only runs when the water is needed. Water heater switch for gas and electric. So in conjunction with the switch outside, you can actually leave that switch on and then control your electric from in here by simply flipping the switch up or down. But our recommendation, turn them both off at any given time. That way you don't accidentally leave the electric side on. The gas, when we turn this on, there's the Dsi Fault Light. What's going to happen momentarily is this light's going to shut off. When that light shuts off, that's when the water heater is trying to light on propane. If it finds propane, the light stays off. If it does not find propane, like in this demonstration, the light will come back on. So now it's trying to light on propane. It's not going to find anything right now, so the light will come back on and tell us that it did not light, like so. It'll try 3 times before it quits trying. It'll also come on if the water heater is too temperature. These are all exterior lights, labeled nicely for you. DS stands for door side, ODS means opposite door side, your patio and your step light. Above here is your monitor panel. If you hit the button for your battery, it'll tell you that, you know, how much your battery life's at. Same with the fresh, black 1, 2, gray 1 and 2. We actually have another one over here for your outside kitchen only. So that'll give you all 3 of your gray tanks and then both your black tanks in there. Light switches on the wall, pretty straightforward, turns lights on and off throughout the camper. This is for your ceiling fan, your main power on and off, and then these are touch buttons, so you can change the fan speed or the direction that the blades are turning. The thermostat, what we want to do when we turn this on is we want to make sure that display says AU. If it doesn't say AU, simply use the up or down arrow to change it. So I can have it in high or low or AU. So we want to make sure that it's an AU. And then we're going to hit the mode button to select what we want. So if I want it to be on the air conditioner, I'll select there, and then use up or down to change my temperature. If I want the furnace on, up or down to change my temperature, or if I just simply want to turn it off, I'll go back down to off. The big key is that leaves it in AU for the auto mode. Auto will actually work the air conditioner in high until it gets within 10 degrees of the temperature that's set it at, and then it'll kick down to low automatically. So you don't have to worry about the air conditioner being on high or low. It'll do it automatically for you. Your radio is a DVD, CD, MP3, all the bells and whistles that you could possibly want. It's already hooked to the TV. We do test them with DVDs and make sure that everything plays through them. You just want to make sure if you're watching a DVD that you change the setting of the TV to video or component, whichever it may be on the particular TV. But that's pretty straightforward on the radio. If there's any questions, just please give us a call and we can walk you through a little more of setting everything on that. The tables we leave sitting on the couch here because you have a recessed flooring for the legs, which are underneath the benches here. So they'll have to come out when the slide rooms come in. We do have manual cranks for the stabilizer jacks as well as the front landing gear and slide rooms. So that's what those 2 rods are right there. Your cooktop has a top burner igniter. So when I twist this around, I'm actually sparking all 3 of my burners. So I just select which burner I want to turn on, twist that, and it'll ignite. The oven, on the other hand, is completely opposite. You have to light this one by hand. So all the way in the back, the same side that the knob is on is your pilot light assembly. So way back there is your pilot light assembly. The way this is going to work is you're going to turn this on to pilot on. You need to push in and hold the button while you light the pilot. Once the pilot's lit, hold this for approximately 10 seconds so that it heats up. You should then be able to let go of the knob and then turn it to whichever temperature you want. The whole rod in the middle then will ignite with flame, and like any normal oven, then let it warm up to temperature and you're good to go. You can turn it off, or you can just turn it back down to pilot depending on how much you use the oven. I would probably say turning it off would be the recommendation because you probably won't use it that much. Microwaves, our standard household style microwaves, glass turntables inside, pretty straightforward. As far as, you know, setting your time, you know, they've got express cooks. You can hit 30 seconds or more and add time to it. But they are 110, it's a big key on those. Refrigerators, what we're going to do to turn this on is we're going to push the on-off button. What's going to happen is the auto light's going to come on. We're going to leave this button depressed in. Auto is going to automatically search for electric first, propane second. If it does not find electric or gas, that's when this check light will illuminate. If for any reason you wanted to run strictly off propane, you can simply push the button. That'll change it to only gas, and then it'll do just like your water heater. It'll try 3 times before it stops trying, and then you'll have a check light if it doesn't find anything. Our recommendation, most efficient way to do it, is run it in auto mode. So basically all you have to worry about is turning it on and off. They do work top to bottom, so they take up to 8 hours to get 100% cold. Freezer getting cold first, then the refrigerator. To adjust your temperature, there's a little slat right here with a hose attached to it. What you want to do is you want to slide that up to where the indicator on the side there says warmer, colder. The higher up you go, the colder it gets. That is actually how you control the temperature. All the way up should not get you below freezing. All the way down should not get above 42 degrees. slide room controls for the back 2 slides. These are a little bit different. They're called auto synchronizing slide systems, so they'll sound a little different than the other 2 slides. When I hit the button, it has a high-pitched whine, and they're very sensitive to the battery. So if your battery for whatever reason is low or is not on there, that is one thing that you want to do, is make sure that you have a battery on there for these slide rooms. But one switch for each slide. Small table, once again, recessed floor mounts, so that has to come out when the slide rooms are in. The big keys back here is you want to make sure that everything's secure. Since these slide rooms do come in and close off this whole room, you know, doors and drawers need to be checked, that they're good and tight when they close. That way they don't get left open and caught in a slide room when you pull them out. Pull down bed, pull your pin. Fold down like so. And then you have your small bed right there. So pretty straightforward on that. The hide a bed for underneath here. It's easier if you lift this up and lock it into place. So we're going to pull this from the other side here. Cushions out. Pull out our legs. Flip it over. And then inside this bag is our air mattress. The air mattresses have built-in pumps that plug into an outlet, or they also have a battery-powered pump if you're camping somewhere where you don't have electricity. Holding it back up is simply just reversing the process. Hold your legs down, flip it over the top, and back into place. It also comes with a nice pull-out drawer. And there's all our table legs for the whole camper. Bathroom in there, not a whole lot we're going to go over in the bathroom. You have a foot flush toilet. It's exactly the same as the front one. Light switch on the wall, vents on top. Pretty straightforward in the bathroom back here. Fuse panel, breakers and fuses. If you have any issues with anything right there, electrical systems, everything's nicely labeled and telling you what they are. So that's your main power center right there. Front slide room control, similar to the main slide. It makes a clicking noise when it's all the way out or all the way in. Main bathroom, once again, same style toilet. You got your shower right there. You do have what's called a fantastic fan or a creative breeze fan on the ceiling. They have to be open, turned on to at least one, and the light switches on the wall need to be on as well in order for it to work. If one of those three are not engaged, then that fan will not turn on. So we can open the fan, our light switch is on, it's on at least one, so now we have a good fan. If I turn the switch off, or if I turn the speed off, I can just have a regular vent. But the big keys are that it is open, on one, and the light switch on the wall is on. Main bedroom, these do come equipped prepped for a second air conditioner. That's why there's a second thermostat on the wall. That will do nothing right now since there is not a second air conditioner on here. But everything is rain in the ceiling in this vent for it. So if you decide in the future that you'd like to have a second air conditioner, you can actually get a thermostatically controlled one versus a non-ducted. Little pins on the bottom of the closet to help hold them in place. We ship the TV boxes with everything. That way if there would happen to be an issue, you can send it back in the regular box. There's a light in here as well. Washer dryer prep in that closet right there. Here are all your keys. You got a set of slam door keys for your main storage. These 751 keys do things like your outside kitchen. One set of keys will be front door, one set of keys will be back door. They do have numbers on them. These numbers are specific to the doors. So if you see that there's two different numbers there, one for for each door. Other than that, that's really all that we have. If there's any questions, please feel free to contact the service department. We can definitely help you out over the phone.